Hi there guys, welcome back. I did all the skeleton for this character now, and I'm just gonna show you quickly, give you a rundown how these how I created and the consideration that they took place, so the thought process that I had when I created this join. So you can go and do that as well for your characters. Um, let's start with this now. So I'm just gonna show you here quickly what the skeleton is. So obviously it's a bit small, but I'm gonna show you here why I pulled this joint. If you ever have this issue that you don't have the joints big enough, you can just probably go here and then start putting it like bigger like that if you want to. But if you want to just generally in the viewport as the whole scene how to see them bigger, so what you have to do is go into, if you go into Windows, I think it's not display, and if you go into animation and you go here something called joint size, if I'm here in my custom tab, so I press Control Shift and I say joint size, and I go to here in my tab here, so I press click that and I just increase this guy to about something bigger like that, or about 2.5, 2.675, whatever. So I'm just gonna show you here quickly what I did was let me hide this. The arm here, exactly the same what we did. I told you earlier. Make sure that you don't break the line from the front view. You don't break the line that goes all the way here. Otherwise, you're gonna have issue when you put your IK handles. I put the extra joint here, put an extra put in here, and then create all these the finger joints. Probably this is the one that's gonna take you the longest, guys, to create, because you have to go and align them, make sure they all align perfectly, and then this one, the thumb as well, doesn't align on the same one, so you have to create a different one for this, but it's pretty straightforward. For the spine, I created the clavicle like we said earlier, and then from the clavicle I created this extra joint that later on you can use them if you want to when you move to your clavicle, to create a piece of geometry here. If you were to use muscle system, but we're not going to cover this in this module, you can make sure that you put a piece of geometry here and then paint sliding weight, for example, and then that will allow you to make it look like it's actually there is some sort of bones or fat structure, muscle structure under sliding through when you move the clavicle. That's something that I always do for the characters. Well, in this case for the bipeds. I put an extra joint here, so I can, when I paint the weights, I can paint sort of like the insinuation or what it should look like, the rib cage. So when I bend the character on this side here, it preserves the volume here on the chest. So the same go here. I go another one there, and I have, like we saw earlier, we saw one that is the center here that move everything, and on top of that there is this one here that will allow you to move the hips independently. So it's pretty much, this is a son of this one here, so I just put it one on top of another. I'll show you in the other video how I did for the legs, exactly the same before, one there, toes, toes. Now for this is a good practice, because we're gonna make sure that this sort of rig works for Unreal Engine. So make sure that this is not 100% necessary, but it's good practice to have an extra joint that has, this is the father, and sorry, this is the child of this main joint that I put right in the middle center, and this is, I'm gonna call it the master COG, or the master center of gravity. And then this one here will be like the spine, so spine B, C, hip sway, both sides. So when I in Unreal, if I want to move the character, I can move him from there, or I can probably scale it from there if I want to, but we're gonna do that later on in the rig. Here obviously it won't work because there's no rig in there. So that was that for the spine, hips, and the center here. Just one extra joint here right in the middle. See here, you press X right in the middle there, and then snap it to the grid, and then call that a master joint, and then just take that. You don't, like I said, you don't have to do that. It works without this, but it's a good practice to have one joint that you can select everything, especially in Unreal when you want to scale stuff. So if you go here on the side, I got the neck. I got an extra joint here because you go a long neck, and it has an extra here, so I can spin the head from here, and at the same time I can create one there, and I can spin as well from here. So you go like 3 joints there. Now the jaw here is what you think is the jaw, the bone structure here. So this guy here is just an extra joint that you just for good practice, but you're not gonna bound this to the skin. So this is the one that's gonna allow you to open the jaw up, in and out, like that, up and down. So the head is the one that holds everything together. That's what everything that doesn't move is gonna be apparent, or it's gonna be attached to in terms of weight painting. We're gonna cover next week. The ears is just a single single just joint that you can just rotate, so your ears rotate, nothing else big thing. This, like I said, this one is not gonna be bound because it's just good practice. Now the eyes is the tricky one, because I'm just gonna hide this. So I'm just gonna hide and just keep this. So here you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have one, it's called left eye. It's parented to this, and that's where it's going to allow me to parent this geometry under this, so when the head moves, the eyes come with it. So I got that, and then I got another one, which is the left eye aim. That's the one that is going to bound a little bit of the skin that goes around the eye on this, in this case, the eye on this side. So normally I use a joint to paint weight here and here. So when the eye moves around, it pulls a little bit of the skin around, so it looks very believable, like it's actually muscle that's being attached to the eye under there, which is the way it should be in real life. And I give you that impression that when the character looks to the side, pulls a little bit of geometry here, and it makes it look like it's actually a muscle is taking, it's working under. So I got that, and let me see, and I got another one, which is the one that I use for the eyelid. So the top eyelid, and there's another one which is the bottom eyelid. And then normally I use those to paint the weights, or in this case not the eye, the weights. For example, the bottom eyelid, I will paint all the weights around this area, so when I can open and close it, put control to open and close the eyes. You can do this like that, or you can just use blend shape that we're gonna see later on. But I always do it this way, and it just works for this simple character. It should be fine. But that's it, guys. This is pretty much what we're gonna be working on from now until the end of the module. Again, this is obviously it will be depending on your characters and the proportion of your characters. There's no one solution for everything. I know there are online some tools, auto rig and stuff, and then you always have to tweak them. And it will always take you to a certain point, but you will always need to have the ability to just do your own rigs, so you understand what's going on. Even as an animator, rigs are a good thing to know, because probably you're working on something and suddenly you have to make some changes, and because you know what's going on, you might be able to quickly fix that instead of passing it on back to the rigger and see if the rigger can fix it quicker, and then you can continue working. So it's more efficient. So this is normally what I do when I create this iPad. So thank you very much, guys. I'm gonna stop it this week here, and then next week we're gonna be working on weight painting for the character. Thank you very much. Bye bye.